The European Union is divided on giving asylum to Russians fleeing mobilization into the Russian armies and the services. Now, these are, of course, Russian Jews that are fleeing. You can see whole families are leaving the areas. It's not just men trying to get away from being drafted and mobilized, but it's also families leaving. And these are Russian Jews leaving, and they have found asylum in Israel, thank goodness. Now, what about those fleeing to get out of Russia? Where are they going to go? Now, just for fun, I was trying to see what a ticket would be in the next few days from, for example, Moscow to Istanbul, to Saudi Arabia, to Armenia, Azerbaijan. I could not find, it says we cannot serve you. Obviously, it means that there are no flights. There are no seats in any flights in the next few days because they're all sold out. And from what I found out, for a one-way ticket out of Moscow, it's over $10,000 for the ticket. Now, I don't know if people going there or coming back in a little while, I don't know if they'll be bumped off from double bookings because that happens on airlines. They double book because they can just throw you out if you have a cheap ticket and put someone else, of course, that has paid 20 times more. Okay? So this was happening with these people fleeing from Russia. Where are they going to? Now, the European Union is divided on giving asylum to Russians fleeing mobilization. This is authored by Dave DeCamp via antiwar.com. On Zero Hedge, an EU spokeswoman for the European Commission said on Thursday that the bloc should give asylum to Russians fleeing the mobilization order, but the EU members are not on the same page as her. Anita Hipper, an EU spokeswoman for migration, said that the situation is unprecedented, quote unquote, and said work was ongoing between EU members to find a common approach. The Baltic states of Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia have already come out against giving refuge to Russians who are looking to avoid the draft. On Thursday, the Czech Republic said it would not grant humanitarian visas for Russians fleeing the mobilization. Now, we know that these Baltic states are afraid that after the various eastern areas of Ukraine being forcefully included into Russia, that they will be next. Lithuania, even Poland. Now, Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia are against the Russians looking to avoid the draft coming in. And they said, I understand that Russians are fleeing from ever more desperate decisions by Putin, but those running because they don't want to fulfill the duty imposed by their own government, they don't meet the criteria for humanitarian visa, end quote, said Czech Foreign Minister Jan Lipavsky. In Germany, several officials have signaled Berlin would be willing to take in Russians who do not want to be drafted. German Interior Ministry Nancy Faeser said, deserters threatened with serious repercussions can, as a rule, obtain international protection in Germany, she said. Now, under Russian President Vladimir Putin, under his order for a partial mobilization, 300,000 reservists will be called up. Russian officials say 300,000 is just 1% of its reserve force, signaling they could later expand the mobilization, of course. Now, the order sparked protests across Russia, leading to the detention of over 1,300 protesters, according to the Russian human rights group OVD Info. And Mark Ames tweets, Putin must be loving the EU countries that have made it all but impossible for Russians to get visa and leave. That's more bodies Putin can draft to use in Ukraine. So you can understand the chaos that's going on, all these families trying to flee. As we said before, those that are able to flee to Israel are very lucky, and I'm happy for them. I really am happy for them. They'll start their new lives there and never go back to Russia, and obviously have more freedom in Israel. And what about the rest? I don't know if these people that left Russia had a visa to leave, but anyway, I assume they did have a visa to leave. But where will they end up? I'm sure that perhaps the best thing is that every European country has a their a member state has their own directive as to how to treat the fleeing Russians from mobilization. Okay, there are, from what I read from a past article, there are 24 million registered in the classes of armed forces in Russia. So these are 300,000 and called right now, and I would assume a lot more will be called later. That's why all these people are leaving, families and young men. Actually, it's from 18 years old to 65 years of age that will be mobilized. So please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.